Zelda Ocarina of Time. What a game. I think I've finished this game about 40 times, and I've got to say I love it just as much on the 40th try as on the first. Just hearing that title music sends shivers down my spine, makes my toes curl, makes my heart flutter with a little bit of joy. It is an absolute work of art. It's a masterpiece. Should be hung up in a museum next to Mona Lisa or Girl with the Pearl Earring, and it deserves to be enjoyed by every gamer in existence. With its strong and elegant storytelling, clear, simple world building, engaging combat, fun puzzles, it's hard to fault this game. So let's break down why I think this game is so good and why everybody should play it and why I love it so much. Let's start with the strongest feature of this game, the story. Right from the very beginning, it's clear. This guy right here needs to die. And then you see the fear on Link's face and you realise that how could this kid possibly hope to defeat this towering evil man? And then Link wakes from this nightmare and finds out he's destined to do just that. To defeat this evil man, to protect Princess Zelda, to save Hyrule. So what follows is an epic journey, cleansing the land of corruption, battling through time itself, and facing the darkness that haunts both him, the past, and the future. It's an incredible story told through engaging dialogue and an immersive world. And if you look closely to the whispers of that world, you'll uncover even more stories hidden beneath the surface. Take Kakariko Village for example. On the surface, it's a cute little quaint town, real cheerful music that plays. But when you go underneath that town, it's a creepy dungeon. And if you look closely into that dungeon, you realize it once served as a prison. A dark reminder that even Hylians have their own history of cruelty in the fight against evil. And it highlights the importance of displaying courage when it comes to versing your adversaries. Because when you fight out of fear, you risk becoming the very thing that you fight. And it reminds me of a poem by a guy called Friedrich Nietzsche, where he says, "He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss gazes also into you." And that's what makes this world so special. The story doesn't just unfold through cutscenes, it's told through exploration, through the quiet moments you stumble upon. Every corner of Hyrule holds a piece of its past, waiting for you to uncover it. Another amazing example of the world building here is right at the start of the game when you first enter Kakariko Village, you meet a red-haired woman who asks you to gather all her chickens. Pretty simple. At the end, she gives you a bottle and you move on, assuming that's the end of it. But later, as an adult, you find her brother. This thug-looking guy, real skinny, real down-to-earth sort of fellow. And during one of the sword trading quest lines, which is completely optional mind you, you discover he's fallen ill. You bring him the medicine, but when you return, he's gone. And that moment hit me. When I went back in time as a child and saw that red-haired lady again, I couldn't help but feel sad. I knew her brother's fate, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. It didn't affect the main story in any way, it didn't reward me with anything special, but it changed how I saw the world. It made Hyrule feel alive, tragic, human even, and that's why I'm giving Ocarina of Time a 19 out of 20. So moving on to controls. So as you could expect, this game was originally made on the Nintendo 64, so there are some controller limitations, but I'm going to say some flaws. Mainly that of controlling the camera. It was possible in some areas. It's just a little bit janky because you have to Z target to get the camera behind you, and it can be a little bit annoying to deal with that. But this is rectified in the 3DS version, or if you get the Ship of Harkonnen or Ship of Harkonnen I think it's called, which is a PC emulator for it. You can adjust some settings so that you've got a moving camera angle. Another little thing, I don't really know if this goes under controls or gameplay, but just the item selection can be kind of annoying. Not so much using the items. Once you've got the items, it's easy enough, but having to go into your menu, in and out of your menu, to switch what items you can fast use can be a little bit time consuming, but I can't fault it too much. Honestly, it's an old game, like a 28-year-old game, so I can't fault it too hard. I reckon I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10 controls, because realistically it's just the camera, and obviously I complete the game, so I made it work. Just a brief break to remind you, if you haven't already, to like, comment and subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 by the end of the year so we can get stickers in our stream chat. So now let's move on to gameplay, and I have to say this is where Ocarina of Time absolutely nails it. The gameplay loop is simple. As a kid, you collect 3 spiritual stones, open the Temple of Time, become an adult, and then you have to collect 6 medallions, go fight Ganon. Like, that's a very simple path. And it's mostly linear, but it never feels restrictive. The game doesn't hold your hand or force you down the right road. You're encouraged to explore, to experiment, to get lost, and to figure things out on your own. And that's what makes the world feel alive. You're not just following a checklist, you're uncovering secrets, building relationships, learning how to use the tools to move forward. It's both an adventure but also a puzzle. The whole world is a puzzle. A world designed to be understood, not just played. For example, early on, you're told to go find the Gorons to earn the Firestone. So you hike up Death Mountain, stroll into the city, and you find the king has locked himself in his room. How do you open the door? Well, you play a song? Zelda's Lullaby? What is that? Why? The song of the royal family, you realise. Somehow that convinces him to trust you and to let you in. And you might wonder, wait, how is I supposed to even know that? Well, the truth is, you kind of weren't. You just try things until something works. Later, when you learn the lore, it actually does kind of make sense that the Gorons serve the royal family of Hyrule, so hearing that song proves your connection to them. But when you're first playing, you're not thinking about that, you're just experimenting, you're just trying to figure this all out, you know? And that's the magic of it. The game rewards curiosity, not direction following. It trusts you to figure it out. And every time you do, you feel clever. Like you solved something meaningful, not just completed an objective. That's why for me, this game deserves nothing less than a perfect score of 20 out of 20 for gameplay. Now for time sink, and honestly this is going to be the shortest segment of them all, and not because it did bad, but because it did amazing. It's got a perfect score, I'll tell you that right now. It was in the golden era of gaming where there was no such thing as microtransactions or daily login rewards for that new skin that you've been waiting for. Instead, honestly, they just expected you to turn the game on and play it because you wanted to, because it was fun, not because they were trying to trap you into it. So I'm going to give this an easy 20 out of 20 for time sink. Now for the final category of satisfaction. Was I satisfied? Absolutely. Are you crazy? Ocarina of Time is amazing. It's top tier. It's easy S-class. It's got an amazing story, incredible gameplay, a level of polish that still holds up decades later. I don't know how. As I mentioned in the start of the video, I've beaten this game about 40 times over the last 28 years, and I still love it just as much on this playthrough as I did on the first, and that says a lot. I get bored very easy. So if you haven't played Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time yet, do whatever you have to do to get your hands on it. Buy it, download it, borrow it, whatever it takes. Honestly, it should be required in schools to play this game, like reading Lord of the Flies. It's an absolute masterpiece, and that's why I'm giving it a perfect score of 30 out of 30 for satisfaction. So if you add all of these scores together, that gives us a grand total of 97 out of 100. But in my opinion, that's a perfect score. This game is a masterpiece. Enough said. Alright, so as we do on this channel, every time we finish a game and finish the review for that game, we put a little sticker on our banner so everybody can see all the games that we've completed. So this is the one here for Zelda Ocarina of Time. Shrink it down. Roughly the same size. Actually, no, it deserves to be bigger. It's a wonderful game. I'm going to stick this right here next to Shaky, I reckon. Boom, dead center. Everybody. Oh, you know what the problem is going to be, though? Now that it's one of the first games, it's going to be underneath. I'm going to stick it there. That's where it's going. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 by the end of the year. Love you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.